the sports betting network.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. We're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. We could do 12 hours today. Easy. Well, with what took place last night in the National Football League, we are on the air for 3 hours. And on today's program, Paul Stone, professional sports bettor, his best bets in college football for the upcoming week. That comes up in 1 hour. Back end of the program, Derek Stevens in studio, owner, CEO of this bad boy casino. And you know the drill coming up with Derek at that time. The carnage continues in the National Football League, Paulie, and nobody knows anything. Chaos again last night. The second game was outstanding. Now that was a football game. That's the offense that we want to see. Not in every game, but in some of these games. No punts, no turnovers. First time since the 40s that happened. And I can't believe something that our producer Luke stumbled upon today. That's now back-to-back games for Jaden Daniels where the Commanders did not punt. Twice in his career now that's happened. If you look at Allen, Mahomes, Manning, Brady, they did it like 2 times combined, playoffs included. And he did it back-to-back weeks. What?
Crazy. Humans made an unbelievable point yesterday on the pregame show when we sit in Mondays and Thursdays. The Raiders were going to hire Kingsbury as their OC. They couldn't work out the contract details, so they're stuck with Getsy. I mean, how about that difference? And Kingsbury called a great game. Daniels was Superman. So many people out of Survivor. I'm sick to my stomach. Last year I could accept it because a guy who will probably never take another snap in the league beat me against a hot quarterback with DeVito beating Love. But this is just, can you get a stop? You knew early on, too. It didn't feel right where McPherson misses the field goal again. They can't get a stop. They should have beat Kansas City the week before. They took me out on multiple entries week 1 and week 3. And here we are while all these people are eliminated, and we're not even to October. Mm-hmm. But that's just a total embarrassment from an organizational standpoint of how you're 0-3 with all that talent. You called them out about not getting the Chase deal done, and what happened? So you lose 16-10 somehow to the Patriots, and now you can't get a stop, and you lose to Washington. And the other thing I can't believe is 17 straight drives, either points or kneel down with Washington.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Right. I went back and watched the fourth quarter this morning from last night's game, and that final drive that they had, the Bengals had their chances, man. I mean, there was a 2nd and 21, and then there's a big spot, big pickup to Ertz, and then there's a 4th down spot that was just a brilliant play call, I thought, by the Commanders, and they picked it up, and then the touchdown pass. I mean, what can you say about that? Yeah. He's under pressure. He gets absolutely blasted. McLaurin wasn't even close to being in the end zone when the ball was put up in the air. And look at this. This is an incredible graphic that went viral yesterday. By the way, he still has the defender in front of him. And so this is before the juke move at around the 18-yard line. And Daniels is getting killed as he's throwing the football. And that's a touchdown. And it was a thing of beauty. And here's what I love about watching this team already. And you're right about what you said about Kingsbury and how the Bears probably screwed this up overall with their coaching staff. And this is one of the reasons why I like the Commanders. I like the overhaul, bringing in Dan Quinn, clear upgrade from what they had previously, and Kingsbury. Week 1, throw it in the trash. The last 2 weeks, it looks like they are using Daniels exactly how LSU used him last year, and it's working.
Yeah.
And he was the best deep thrower in college football last year, and you saw some of those last night, including the game sealer. That's just, it's a piece of art, is what it is.
Yeah, and why not be aggressive, too? You're right, with the incredible throw to seal it with the touchdown, going for it a couple times on 4th down. I thought Quid would punt. Then you look over on the sideline, and they got the camera on Kingsbury. He's looking at his play sheet, ready to go. So the blitz didn't work. Nothing worked.
And by the way, you had to go for it there, too, because they're out of field goal range.
Yeah.
If you punt, you're not getting any stops either, by the way.
No.
The Bengals offense, they were on fire last night. Mm-hmm. It came down to a missed call probably on a 2-point conversion attempt. And as you said, McPherson's field goal that he whiffed on.
That was big, yeah. And certainly there should have been a penalty on the 2-point try, and they probably would have got it as well. But he had more touchdown passes than incompletions. He sets the record, 91% completion percentage. I mean, he was Superman and did everything. And you watch that game and say, man, if they can get any defense and stops, watch out. They're going to be tough to deal with. So back-to-back games. The Giants game, he just had the 7 field goals and the red zone issues. But if they can get any kind of defense and are just average, and I think Quinn can be able to figure it out. That's a scary team right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if they have the talent, right, on that side of the ball. Even though Quinn is awesome working with defenses, and he has been forever. That's his MO.
Well, I'll outscore people. I'm plus 225 to make the playoffs. I don't think that's crazy.
No, I think they can.
When you see the NFC, and what we watch on a week-to-week basis.
And by the way, I'm telling you, there's a path that exists, and we did touch on this in the preseason. Everybody was expecting the Cowboys to come back to the pack a little bit, and everybody thought the Eagles were going to run away with the division. Like the Philadelphia-Washington 1-2 exact in that division, that can absolutely happen, in my opinion.
Oh, what's he going to do to the Cowboys? Oh, I know. That's right. So
what's he going to do to Arizona?
Yep, that's going to be a great game Sunday. That total is way too low. So you just knew early on. It's like Cincinnati's not going to stop them. They can do whatever they want, and they get the touchdown right away to Chase in play. Washington then was plus 450 to win the game, but then it just happened so fast. Where you're trying to think, can I get out of this? Can I make some money before I get eliminated in Survivor? And it just, next thing you know, it's down to 3-4. Now they're favored. And then the halftime line, you just think that they can't stop them. Daniels can do whatever he wants. And to think you score 10 points in week 1 to the worst team in the league likely, and then you score 33 at home in a game you have to have, and that's not good enough. And again, you have to hold Zach Taylor accountable.
You have to, Paulie.
This happens every year.
That's unacceptable.
So 1 in 10 now? 1 in 10 going back the first couple of weeks under Burrow. And I knew we were in trouble when he showed up with the frosted tips, but I mean, this cannot happen with all this talent, and they always get off to slow starts. And I can't believe at DraftKings they're still plus 115 to make the playoffs.
Yeah, at 0-3.
Yeah, and plus 380 to win the division. So now they go to Carolina, and you watch that horrible defensive output and performance. You think Dalton won't have any problems moving the ball as well. It's just an unmitigated disaster in Cincinnati.
I haven't listened to Cincinnati sports radio today, to be honest. But I can't. I mean, the talking point has to be in that city. The discussion must be had about whether or not Zach Taylor's the right guy for the job. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
To start behind the 8 ball every single year like this and to come out of the gates this slowly. Sorry, guys, that's a him problem. Mm-hmm. That's a coaching problem. And now 0-3 again this year, and just history tells you, what is it, 4-100 and whatever it is, when teams start 0-3?
Yeah.
Like it's almost impossible to come back and make the playoffs. They're very talented. It happens every single year, and that you can point the finger at one person, Zach Taylor. So yes, they got to a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Was that him? Or was that Joe Burrow being awesome and the defensive coordinator working magic in the second halves of big games when it mattered most?
A little bit of a fluke element to it as well. I mean, that was the year McPherson couldn't miss.
Yeah.
And he kicked all those field goals in Tennessee. And now the guy's become a liability. So you can't have Burrow going into Arrowhead and beating Mahomes, going to the Super Bowl, giving them tough games in the regular season, and yet you can't beat the Patriots and the Commanders.
Think about that.
Come on.
Yep.
You lost to Cooper Rush. You look at these quarterbacks he's lost to early on that under Taylor's resume.
Yep. I got an unbelievable tweet from Jarek, who's been tracking this since Burrow came into the league. And if you go back and look, Bengals, when they take on teams who took a first-round quarterback, the opposing teams, with Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow, the success rate, they've lost almost every one of these games. They lost to the Chargers in 2020. They took Justin Herbert. That year, they also tied the Eagles, who took Jalen Hurts. In 2020, lost to the Dolphins. Tua started. In 2021, they lost to the Bears. Dalton started, but Fields came into the first half and got credited with the win. Mm-hmm. It goes on and on. There are examples after examples of this team losing to other teams who drafted a first or a high-end quarterback in that year's draft.
Man.
And it took place again last night. 7.5-point favorites. They were bigger favorites in week 1 against the team that we all thought was going to be the worst team in the entire league. But maybe another conversation should be, and we brought this up on the pregame show yesterday, are we sure a team like Cincinnati should be favored by 7.5 points against anybody in the NFL?
I know.
With what's going on, Paulie, and all these underdogs are winning outright?
Dogs of 6+ points are now 12-1 ATS on the season. They've won 8 outright. Dogs of 7 points or more are perfect 4-0 straight up in ATS.
That's incredible. And the largest NFL favorite of each week has lost so far. Cincinnati in week 1, Cincinnati last night, Baltimore in week 2. Sports Odds History had this tweet. You have to go back to weeks 10 through 12 of the year 2001, the last time that happened, where the biggest favorite lost 3 consecutive weeks.
Can't believe it. I'm so mad. Just pissed off. Can't believe I'm out before October. And now it's just, oh. And they got me on 5 entries, week 1 and this one as well. Oh, God.
5
so
over,
bad.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't go heavy in week 1. I'm like, I'm listening to Frank B. You had the Higgins stuff, Chase, you never know.
Sure.
Still they lose that game. But this was like, what are you going to do? Like, as I was talking to Chris Massero, he's like, well, everyone lost. So, I mean, you did the great.
Yeah, everyone lost.
I feel bad because a friend of mine was like, I lost the last 3 years, 2 deep runs, I lost on a Monday night game every single time. So a friend of mine was saying, don't play the Monday night. Oh. I'm anti-Thursday, though. And I also feel bad because he wanted to use the Jets, but I hate to play the Thursday game because with all the injury news. But you look at this, the top 4 most teams selected all lost. Niners lost. Titans lost. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was bananas.
That's the thing. It's like you can't even beat yourself up, though, Paulie, because everybody's out for the most part. I mean, I've seen Survivor contests across the country that are already done with thousands of people involved. All right, so more on the games from last night and a Survivor update beyond that. I can't believe that tickets are already selling. We'll give you details coming up.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big, we go all night, and here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
VSiN is thrilled to introduce a new VSiN.com tailor-made to the evolved needs of today's sports bettors. Our upgraded navigation streamlines your journey, allowing you to swiftly access articles, videos, and podcasts. Whether you're tuning in live or catching up on your favorite shows, everything is just a click away. VSiN.com guarantees a fluid and responsive experience across all devices, ensuring you stay connected wherever you are. We have enhanced tools such as our betting splits and expert picks, and introduce innovative features like parlay and odds calculators, all designed to make you a sharper bettor. Our how to bet section is perfect for beginners, covering the fundamentals, while seasoned bettors can delve into our advanced betting strategies for the competitive edge you've been looking for. Sign up for free on VSiN.com or become a VSiN Pro subscriber, where you can unlock unlimited access to every tool, expert picks, and insight that make VSiN the sports betting network.
Want to see who at VSiN is on a hot streak? Go to VSiN.com/picks to see all the selections and weekly leaderboard of VSiN hosts, writers, and guests. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber and get every pick sent to your inbox daily. Just head to VSiN.com/pro.
Responsible sports betting starts with a game plan. That means stick to a budget. Keep it social, learn the game, and know the odds. Play with legal operators, and if you need help, reach out. Visit haveagameplan.org to learn more.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
I keep seeing the tweets of Survivor contests around the country. Started off with like 30,000 people. They're down to 1,200. Another one that just came in, they're down to like 56 people. Started off with thousands, obviously. And I have a friend who played in one that was a $500 buy-in, 31 people in it. It's already over with. It was down to 3 people this week, and all 3 people lost. Why not?
Yeah, run it back.
Sure.
Oh my God.
That's a question for Derek Stevens a little bit later on.
Yeah.
They could here at Circa, they could already start promoting something called Survivor Reloaded, and have to start at week 8 and have people give people a month to come out here and sign up again. Yeah. I bet you get a couple thousand people to do it. There's an itch that the country has for this event.
Oh, and plus the FOMO. That's the other thing.
Absolutely.
David Baker said this as well. And he's won the Westgate Super Contest. He's a poker player. It's like getting knocked out of the main event of the World Series. Just the feeling you have, and then it's like, okay, I got to wait a year now. But the option is you can buy back in or take some pieces too, which you'll get to coming up. 988 on the Bengals, 933 on the Browns, 667 on the Bucks, 515 on the Raiders, 69 on the Niners, 54 on Tennessee, 6 on the Saints. Survivor Atlas on X. We're down to 4.5% of the field after 3 weeks. In 2020, it didn't happen for 16 weeks. 2021, it took 10 weeks. 2022, it took 7. Last year, 11. 14,200 people joined. You're down to 642. Also, as I understand it, there are a couple females left, and they have multiple entries.
Is one of them named Jessica Hearns?
That I don't know.
From last year?
But let's look at that. Top 4. Yeah, line through it. Get it out.
Oh, just thousands of people whacked.
Yep.
So in 2020, they had 1,390 to begin the entire contest. After week 3, 675 people were left. This year, with 14 times the amount of people, there are fewer entries alive right now, 642. And 35 winners went 18-0 that year. I'm also seeing like projections, and some people think it's going to go to like week 16 still. I think there's a lot of football left.
Yeah?
I will say this.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
When you look at the point spreads, right? I don't think a lot of people used the Niners in week 1 against the Jets, right? So they lost the last 2 weeks, so that would tell me that mostly everybody remaining has the 49ers. How about if 641 people use the Niners this week? I'll use the Patriots as the only other entry, and we could end this whole thing after week 4. And then I'll buy drinks.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah. Well, I wonder how many people are going to be scared off the Niners. Just because they'll be the most selected, and the most selected is 0 for 3.
That's right.
Bengals week 1, Ravens week 2, Bengals week 3.
And what if Purdy is seriously injured?
Mm-hmm. And you also want to be on the same team, right? There were some sneaky picks. 19 different teams were selected in week 3. 78 on Seattle. Good job. 14 took Pittsburgh. I would have been on Pittsburgh if I would have got the Herbert news. Colts, Detroit, some sneaky picks there. Chiefs, damn.
Yeah, I'd actually go Houston this week. However, we already used them. So I'm down to one entry.
Okay.
I had one on the Bengals last night as well. I was asked this question from Scott Sanders on Twitter. Would I rather have one left and absolute carnage and down to 642, or would I rather have 2 left and the Bengals not get eliminated?
Your answer?
I'd rather have 2 left.
Rather have 2 left, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maneuver,
one,
right?
I gotta
That's right.
I gotta do an amazing dance here for the next couple of months.
So now it's each entry now is worth $22,000. And there's already activity at Survivor Sweat. This I cannot believe.
There's a gentleman from Georgia who met me before the show. He has one left with his son. He's tracking this whole thing, Survivor Sweat. Chunks of tickets are already being sold today.
Yeah.
Like one ticket, so from what it's my understanding, that one entry already sold off 8,000, and that person who paid in 8,000 for the ticket is going to get 25%. And then there's a bit more than that, actually, more juice than that going on as we speak. So it's been all day long, ever since last night.
Oh, man.
Is it too early to sell?
Depends how you want to look at it. Just like there's no way I'm going to survive this, then there's just, look what's happening in this league. This is ridiculous.
That's why you
Nobody's
honestly,
good. And
this is why you can't be mad. Nobody can be mad. I know you said Indiana Jet, really good dude.
Yeah.
He was one of the winners last year. He said he's going off Twitter.
He said he was embarrassed, but that's not.
You can't. No. Here's the thing: you can't even be mad because you just ran down every favorite lost.
Yeah.
But the Jets, that's it.
Yeah, this isn't like the Pam Maldonado nonsense here. I told you you got to pick somebody,
right?
And they all lost. So what do you?
That's exactly right. Yeah. As another friend told me last night, it's a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
So I'd like to tell you, hey, the Niners make sense this week. Do they? I mean, look at what's happening on a weekly basis.
Yeah. So you mentioned this Sunday watching the games, and I was doing cartwheels while because you got the Giants that are going to win, knocking the Browns out, knocking the Bucks out. How about Week 5 though?
Oh boy!
I mean, I looked at the Week 5 schedule, and the numbers are out too, which we'll get to tomorrow. Good luck. And you think, well, at some point it's going to turn around. I don't think it is. And it's just Roselle's dream that the whole damn league is everyone's in the same group about you're average and you're just below average and there's 2 bad teams and maybe 1 good team. But Week 5 is brutal.
Yeah.
So what's it going to be down to after Week 5?
We don't have a lot of mismatches coming up next week, the one that you're talking about. And the schedule looks like this. On Thursday, it's Tampa Bay at Atlanta. I mean, all these games are going to be within a field goal or basically a pick 'em, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 games. The Jets play Minnesota. That's in London. Can't use that game.
No.
Carolina's at Chicago. No, thank you. Baltimore's at Cincinnati. Miami plays at New England. Who's the quarterback?
Oh, wow.
I would lean Miami if it's Huntley, of course, but who knows?
Yeah.
Cleveland plays at Washington. Do you want to make the case for the Commanders? Maybe that's the surprise pick.
You're going to need injury news, too. Then I'll have to try to help you out as well.
For sure.
Someone's out for the year, a big quarterback injury, something like that.
What's the point, by the way, of even thinking about who you're going to save down the stretch?
That too, right. Christmas, get out of here.
Yep. Indy plays at Jacksonville. Buffalo's at Houston. Raiders at Denver. Cardinals at 49ers. That's why. But again, do you trust the 49ers at this point with maybe just cluster injuries taking on a sneaky, awesome quarterback?
Not in that game.
And no.
Sunday I do, not in that game.
Yeah, not in Week 5.
And you are out of your mind if you use the Dolphins with Skylar Thompson against anybody.
Yeah,
but
right.
That's and you see how bad their run defense has been. And maybe Stevenson goes off for the Patriots. I don't see why it's not Huntley moving forward. But
I'll give you what would be a popular one. That would be Seattle. But a lot of people have already used the Seahawks.
Right. Yeah, right.
And maybe here again, they play on both Thanksgiving and on Christmas. So the thought of saving the Chiefs makes sense. However, as I just said, you can't even have that thought in your head right now. Maybe they're the most popular play on Monday night. They get the Saints. And if they lose, everybody goes down like the Titanic.
Yep. Boy, that's brutal. Because if you don't have the Chiefs and you're going to use San Francisco Sunday, then you don't have many options. Because every other game, the point spread's 4 or fewer. Oh, man. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Down to 4.5%. And then the wheeling and dealing already starting. Plus, you got the FOMO angle. I mean, think about that. When you run the numbers, if it's worth $22,000, and then people are saying, I got $10,000 for this. I sold 20% for $8,000.
Sure.
It's crazy.
By the way, the opening number, is that right on the screen? Cleveland was 3 against Washington before last night's action. Is that what it was? How's Cleveland?
I believe it, yeah. I believe it.
Right? Who do you trust right now? It's, hey, I'm going to go to war with the 49ers this week laying 10-point favorites, and they lose, 20-17.
Mm-hmm.
Who, and you can't even be surprised.
Yeah.
Washington is supposed to be one of the worst teams in football. Win total was 6.5. They haven't punted in 2 weeks. Are you serious?
Yeah.
And they were that looked like a machine. It looked like Daniels has been in the league for 5 years already. No slowing him down. He has he is running. It's like the offense is the back of his hand already, and he's played 3 games. And the execution, the play calling, when to give it to the running back, when to pull out, when to take off, hitting guys perfectly. Like the design of the passing plays from Kingsbury are superb. And then the touch that he has on the deep ball on top of everything else, right? Just when you're going to go dink and duck, right? Just the whole time. And then all of a sudden, boom, we're going to go over the top. And it's just immaculate. You can't beat that throw to McLaurin for the game-winning touchdown.
Right. But also dialing that up. How about Kingsbury to have the confidence to call that? And knowing he can make the throw and he'll stick it in there.
Yeah, there was a timeout in there, too, so they had time to think about it.
Yeah. By the way, Cincinnati, can you stop running your mouth? Why are you talking trash before? You're 0-3. Oh, they do this offense. It goes back to safe stuff in college. And, Worthy doesn't get it. He's nothing.
That's right.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Then they're talking during the game. Chase celebrating after a second. You're losing the game. You're getting embarrassed on national television.
Mm-hmm.
Knock it off.
They're plus 115 to make. You want that?
No chance.
0-3? All right, today's Major League Baseball card is up next. A team in the thick of the wild card chase is making a mistake today. Tell you what that is coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN's got you covered for the start of the season with our football special. For $175, you'll get access to everything VSiN has to offer. With VSiN Pro, you'll receive daily picks straight to your inbox, detailed analysis on every game, and exclusive data like our betting splits to help you become a sharper bettor. Get all of this for just $175 through the Super Bowl. Or try a monthly subscription and get your first 30 days for only $9.99. Don't miss out on this offer. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe.
Don't wait until fall to start betting the NFL. Get a jump start now with the VSiN NFL Betting Guide and get prepared for this NFL season like never before. The guide has in-depth breakdowns for all 32 teams, best bets from our VSiN experts, playoff predictions, award market previews, and more. The guide is out now, and the only way to get it is to be a VSiN Pro subscriber. Head to VSiN.com/pro to sign up and join the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
I can't get enough of the Survivor stuff. 3 weeks in, everybody's losing as big favorites. Contests around the country. You can always tweet us at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Paulie Howard. This is from Doug. He played in a $10 Survivor on DraftKings. It had more than 62,000 people. It's down to 2,200. How's that for that many people getting lopped?
Yeah.
This is from Donnie. Think about this for a second. Hard Rock Cincinnati, $100 buy-in, started with 161 people. 44 people were left going into week 3. He had 4 of the 44, and he split them between Cleveland, adios, Tampa, we'll see ya, Vegas, maybe next year, and Cincinnati.
Oh, man.
Lost all 4. 19 people had Tampa, 7 had Cincy, 8 had the Raiders, 6 had Cleveland, 3 had the Niners, 1 guy had Seattle. He won it. Are you serious?
Yeah. Never had to sweat it, too, right?
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. I pondered that, but I didn't think Thompson would look that bad because he had experience. And McDaniel called a terrible game.
He did.
Yeah.
This is Indiana Jet. He goes, okay, he's not mad. He's not off Twitter. He's just disappointed. He couldn't make it past week 3.
Yeah, me too.
He lost to a litany of really bad quarterbacks, but everybody else did too. Now he just wants to sit back and enjoy what might possibly be a really good Jets season. Okay.
Yeah. I understand. A lot of people, I had a couple entries too. A lot of people got demoralized and taken out with the Ravens. That was another one. I mean, how do you blow a double-digit lead at home to Gardner Minshew? So,
yeah,
some of these, it's brutal. All right. Excited today.
Let me run this by you real quick.
Yeah, sure. Go
ahead. So Tigers won. Scuba was awesome again.
2-1 final. Bad beat in the game we'll get to. 6 hits total in the game. It was awesome.
You gave out Tigers within the last 10 days at 11-1 to make the playoffs.
11-1, yes.
So people who followed that advice, either you're looking obviously extremely pretty at this point, or you can lock in a profit and bet the no if you'd like.
Oh, at a good number now.
Sure you can.
They're already in the clubhouse for the day. Don't forget, they close with the White Sox.
Bingo. Yeah. And if it's necessary, Scooble now, because he went today and he was awesome again, he can go on Sunday. That'll be normal rest for him.
Yep.
But if they clinch before then, it's even better.
Big win. It was awesome, too. And the fans were in a tough spot because they had to move the game up because of the weather. So they got it in. So unexpected, a Tuesday day game. Here we go. But a bases-loaded double. Scuba was awesome, and now they win. They're probably, $5, $6. It depends on what happens tonight, but they got to be a big favorite now to make the playoffs. One bettor in the middle of August bet $50,000 on the no to win $500.
Oh.
He thought he could just scoop and just take the free $500. Oh, boy. How things have changed. Yep. That is tough.
Okay, so let me run this by you then, because that was a weather game today. That's why they bumped it up, and in fact, it had like a 45-minute delay to begin the game after that. I want to throw this at you with what the Braves are doing, because they get the Mets, and as J.J. Cooper put on Twitter, the Braves are hosting the Mets in a pretty important 3-game series. Tonight through Thursday. The forecast for Wednesday is an 80% chance of rain of up to an inch. For Thursday, it's supposed to rain all day, 100% chance with 3 to 5 inches of rain. So today the team could go with Chris Sale because it would be normal rest for him. But they're going to go with Schwellenbach still. And then they're going to go Sale and Fried in order of the Mets series. Why would they do that? Why would you not push Sale up to today? It's normal rest.
Yeah.
And then based on chaos and doubleheaders that you're probably going to have to get to finish out the season, you can go with him again. They're going to wait on Sale until Wednesday? Are you nuts?
So Keith Hernandez thinks there could be a doubleheader, but that's the horrible scenario is he's out there and then there's a delay.
Yes.
And then this is a horrible job by Atlanta. But they have done a great job against the Braves, and we know what happened last year in the same 2 years ago in the same situation when they swept them and the Mets blew the division. The Mets are 27-16 in one-run games, best in baseball, and the best record in baseball since June 1st. The pitching has been ridiculous. The starting pitching's been great. So they also have the tiebreakers over Atlanta and Arizona. So they're sitting pretty. But they close here with all these road games, and they have a tough schedule with how the Braves close. Atlanta closes with Kansas City as well. So it's an enormous game tonight. I did play the Braves to win the series, and take 2 out of 3 and played a little Atlanta tonight as well. But I do agree with your assessment that the organization is making a mistake tonight.
I don't get it.
What they're doing with Sale. Sale goes against Peterson tomorrow. Manea, who's been unbelievable, goes on Thursday.
Yeah, and there's some news again here with the Braves on the injury front. It's not good. Austin Riley's season is now over. His CT scan showed there wasn't enough healing for him to return this season. So they were holding out some hope with him possibly coming back. Not going to happen. Just the injury bug that when it happens to teams, I mean, nothing you can do about it.
Uh-huh.
So, surprised they're going to go that path.
Right.
Other than that today, what do you want to do in this Dodgers game? Because King is going for the Padres.
I did this. I bet Ohtani 12-1 to have the longest home run of the night. You know, because it's just so the prices are ridiculous. Will he hit a home run? He's had 3 home runs off King, and I think 10 at bats, and plus he's juiced in. This insane run that he's on. Last 4 games, 14 of 18, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs, 9 runs, 6 stolen bases. He also is 9 total bases short of becoming the first player to get 400 total bases since 2001. 4 guys did it that year. 3 of them were up to no good. You know, it was Bonds and Sosa. The Dodger team record is 416. How many records is he going to set this year?
All of them.
But what he's doing and how he hit the home run Sunday and what he did against the Marlins, I think he goes deep again. But the Padres, the best record in baseball since the All-Star break, 40-17. So many teams can clinch tonight. So many teams can clinch tomorrow. Dodgers would win the division for the 11th time in 12 years if they get it done. But it's been a different year and a different team and a different Padres 7-3 against them this year. But I do think Ohtani goes deep.
All right, so here are some more of the scenarios. The Astros can clinch the West today with a win versus Seattle. And that's Gilbert versus Valdez. So that's an incredible pitching matchup. And the Astros with Valdez going, this will tell you about Gilbert's power rating as a starting pitcher. Valdez, small favorite at home. Not that big. Right. Valdez is like as good as it gets in baseball since June.
Yeah. No Alvarez, too, is big.
That hurts.
Yep.
Yankees can clinch the East, a first-round bye and home field in the ALDS today with a win versus Baltimore. That's all it's going to take.
The bullpen's been unbelievable for the Yankees, and we know the Orioles have issues. Yep.
Sure. The Orioles, on the flip side, can clinch a postseason berth today with a win and a loss by either KC at Washington or Minnesota at Miami. The Guardians can clinch a first-round bye and home field in the ALDS with a win versus Cincinnati or a loss by Houston against Seattle. And the Phillies can clinch a first-round bye and home field advantage in the NLDS with a win and a loss by Milwaukee at Pittsburgh.
Are we playing against the Phillies? Teams that have clinched the division 0-2 the next game. Hardcore celebration last night.
Yeah.
First division title since 2011. I know the 1 seed's still on the line. They want that. But they are underdogs at home, and they are going with an opener. Got to play. I think you got to play against them. They got after it last night.
It's been a good angle, forever, basically.
Yep. You do anything else? I did it. I did play Ragans because Mitchell Parker's been so bad, and I did play Twins run line because they have the best record in baseball against teams with a losing record.
Yeah.
So I think they can punish the Marlins, but if not, now when? I mean, you're running out of time with the Twins. How big is the Seattle loss the other day? It'd be a half game back. They let 5-0 in the 6th on Sunday and lost the game.
Yeah, I know.
So they win yesterday. So that's what I did. And Kansas City has had 2 7-game losing streaks since late August. They come in on a 7-game losing streak. They have scored 13 runs in their last 7 games. But I think they'll get to Parker, who's got an ERA of 7 in his last 7 starts and only 1 win. That Ragans has to show out tonight.
Give me 10 strikeouts from Ragans tonight. I'll buy you dinner at Barry's.
Okay, that's a deal.
If he hits double-digit strikeouts tonight.
Thank you. This is great, right?
That's a season-long bet that I need to come in.
Luke, can you put the Detroit thing up? How great is this with the Tigers? 0.2% chance to make the playoffs August 11th. Got up to 8.7 in early September, 21.5, and then 61.9. Now, coming into the game, they were minus 370 to make the playoffs, and they won with Skubal. Oh, by the way, they close against the worst team ever. Flexen throws in one of the games, and they have Skubal in their back pocket Sunday. He might be a $6 favorite.
Yeah. I'll raise you with this.
Yeah.
Since August 18th, that was the date. Sunday Night Baseball, A.J. Hinch told the media.
That's right.
Probably going to shut down Skubal. Since that day, Minnesota was 70-54. The Royals were 69-55. The Tigers were 61-64. And now the Tigers are up on both teams. Thanks to Kevin Rogers for that.
Oh, it's good. NHL season almost here. Oh, you going to say something else? Okay. Our Adam Burke and the experts put the betting guide together. It's fantastic. It's out now. Team previews, picks, predictions. Start your VSiN Pro subscription today as little as $9.99. Get your copy of the guide. Every best bet, every host, every guest, the videos, the betting splits, NHL betting guide, packed with a ton of information. Great job, Adam Burke. VSiN.com/subscribe.
Paulie will run down last night's betting action and win some, lose some, and some crazy numbers at cash during Monday Night Football.
In the heart of downtown Las Vegas, a sports oasis awaits. Stadium Swim, the ultimate outdoor amphitheater, built for the ultimate sports fan, with a colossal screen that brings the game closer than ever. Reserve a daybed, private cabana, or lounge in the center of it all. 6 pools to dive into as the game heats up. And the best part, there's never an off-season. Open 365 days a year. Stadium Swim, it's always spectator season.
Looking for the ultimate sports betting podcasts? VSiN has got you covered. With a wide range of podcasts covering every major sport, we're here to help you make smarter bets every season. The Baseball Betting Show with Greg Peterson gives you daily insights into finding value on each day's MLB card. And check out Long Shots, where we deep dive into the world of golf betting, providing you with expert insights to help you bet every tournament. Find all of these podcasts and more at VSiN.com/podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Commanders money line 3-1. In play plus 450 after the Bengals went right down the field to start the game. Washington to win between 1 and 7 points, plus 525. Washington to fall behind and win, plus 425. That's at DraftKings. McLaurin 100 yards, 3-1. Anytime touchdown, 3-1. Daniels 250 yards passing. Yes, plus 370. Chase first touchdown, 8-1. 100 yards was 2-1. 2 touchdowns, 7-1. Burrow 3 touchdowns, plus 375. 300 yards, plus 250. The debacle in the first game, Bills to win by 21 or more, 5-1. Cook first touchdown, plus 875. Missed extra point, plus 330. Strange anytime touchdown, plus 420.
Good number on him.
Yeah, you mentioned him. That was here at Circa. Most receiving yards, Kirk 4-1. Most rushing yards, by the way, Chase Brown was 16-1 in the Bengals game.
How much fun do you have on the Monday and Thursday pregame shows that we do here?
I love it.
It's one of my highlights of the entire week.
Yeah.
I love that hour.
Looking all the props and everything right. And then yesterday we got the touchdown right away. We said that on the air. That was so easy for the Bills on the first drive.
Yeah.
You had to get involved in play. Guys are wide open.
It was way too easy.
Biting on play action. Phillies, first division title since 2011. And also going back to last weekend, the Guardians won the division. They were as high as 4-1. College football, Iowa, Vandy, and Akron are all 4-0 to the over. Florida State, Houston, Cal, Washington, Hawaii, and UTEP, all 4-0 to the under. Florida State by almost 16 points per game.
That's crazy.
Houston, 15.5. These aren't even close with those teams. Tennessee, 4-0 ATS, 21.6 cover margin. BYU, Ole Miss, Texas, Pitt, San Jose State, and Eastern Michigan, also 4-0 ATS. Eastern Michigan plays Kent State Saturday. Kent State's 0-4 ATS. So is Wyoming, NC State, Middle Tennessee, LSU, TCU, and Kansas. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. Yeah, I couldn't get in my driveway coming home. It's Australia. I got brawling koalas. Look at this guy. They're wrestling in the road, right in the driveway. I can't get in. I can't move.
Does he have him in the Texas cloverleaf? Is that what I'm looking at right there?
Camel clutch. Figure 4.
What? They look like they're trained wrestlers.
Yeah, that is incredible.
Look at he tackled him.
He did. Yeah, he tackled him right there. They can scoot right out there in the street. The koala bear's getting after it. Guy can't move. He's just, charge admission where they're getting after it. Friendly fellas. Yeah, there you go.
I would spend way too much time on a website that dedicated posting koala videos like this.
Sure. Always great stuff out there. Look at one. He tackled. Yeah, he tackled. Good form. Better than
Got
USC.
him at the goal line.
Much better than USC's defense.
Yeah.
How about this? You moved in and got the neighbors. You look one lose some. Guess it's a win some though too. Yeah, we got our new neighbors here. They have dogs. And then you look. They dig the hole, and they go under the fence to say hello. Peekaboo. Got the Huskies there. Hey, guys, how you doing? Hey, welcome to the neighborhood. They put their head under the fence. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Lose some. Trevor Lawrence has now lost 8 in a row. He was awful last night. Again, so was Jacksonville. All the way around. And a game you had to have. That's your performance? Whew. And one bad beat just happened. Tigers run line, plus 130. 2 outs, nobody on, top of the 9th. Home run, Tampa, 2-1 final. Only 6 hits in the game. It's good. Great action. You ever get red hot betting, think your picks are worth money? Juice Reel, changing the way sports bettors buy and sell betting advice. You and everyone else links their betting account to Juice Reel. All your history loads into the free app. Everyone's bets imported straight from the books. You're as good as your betting data says you are. Unlock the picks that real talented bettors have their money on. Get paid real money when other people unlock your picks. Fully transparent betting advice from real people. Only on Juice Reel, REEL. Grab your phone, download the app now, Juice Reel. Get it. Good luck.
We haven't even brought up the first Monday night game until right now because of what took place in the second game, and that was clearly the focus of what took place during the Monday night doubleheader. Both things are true here, right? That was ultra impressive by the Bills. At the same time, Jacksonville looked like they're the worst team in football. I know they're not, But I'm saying overall that game plan, and there are numbers that came out today, updated numbers on Josh Allen versus man-to-man versus compared to when he faces like a zone defense. And Jacksonville's game plan to cover the Bills receivers man-to-man pretty much the entire game, they got completely shredded. And they never tinkered. It was just up and down the field the entire game. They got whatever they wanted, and the game was over with in the first quarter. And the Bills look like, I get the competition. It's going to get this week, in fact, it really ramps up because they play at Baltimore. But so far they've played Arizona at home, lucky to win that game. They were going to beat Miami, but then Tua got hurt. Yeah. And then they played Jacksonville, who looks like, is Doug Peterson not dead man walking? Now, that said, clearly they're better without Stephon Diggs so far.
Oh, that's one, yeah. That is the big takeaway. Getting rid of that. How many times did he scream at Allen on the sideline?
Constantly.
Right? So now he's out of there. You don't have the diva demanding the ball. And the motto, again, everyone eats. How he spreads it around. Oh, here's Shakir. Here's Coleman. Here's Cook. Here's Kincaid. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
And it's fun to watch, and it's working for Allen, and it's working for the Bills. And the other thing is I got to see what Khan does here. Because he said before the season, this is the best team we've ever had. They go to Houston Sunday, they could be 0-4. So Peterson not having ready to play. You gave Lawrence all that money. Why? He's been awful. How about the interception? You want to put that up, Luke? How about the interception? And the great news and the story with Hamlin, who's becoming a hell of a player. But it just landed right in his lap. But to think on that route, he's got a guy wide open in the middle of the field. And somehow that was an interception.
Yeah.
Like, how do you air? That was one of the worst throws I've seen. It's like Anthony Richardson. It's like 10 yards over the wide receiver's head. And it goes right to Hamlin.
Why, still today, I think, why is Trevor Lawrence getting a pass?
Oh, it's bad. He's got the same numbers, if not worse, than Danny Dimes' career.
And I
think
the
numbers are worse. Some of them are worse than
I think it's
Danny
also
Dimes.
like Trubisky, too, right?
Yeah.
Like first to begin like certain amount of games or whatever, it's right there. Again, nice stretch 2 years ago to save this season, and you were down by 4 touchdowns in the playoff game at home. You came back to win. It's now year number 4, and that was like 2 months in his career. Other than that, they had to rush to break the bank to this guy and give him that $250 million contract when we screamed on the air, how are you doing this? Why? Because you're afraid to lose him? At some point, he's going to move on as a free agent. What has he done to earn or warrant that kind of money? And now after this, we said this on the air last night. If you could find a spot, if the Bills were going to make it look as easy as they did on that first drive for the entire game, you need to bet the Texans. Well, that number completely moved. It was 4.5. Now they're 7. Maybe that's not even enough. And maybe Doug Peterson is going to be the first coach fired. Maybe he overtakes McCarthy. And
they also looked like they quit. And I know that's what Miami quit too Sunday against Seattle. You hate to use that word, but that's what happened. And also a terrible job by me. I wasn't the only one, but because the number got down to 4 at Circa, I took Jacksonville. That was just, oh boy.
Oh, you knew that it was
bad.
Yep.
Yes.
They beat the Bills last year.
Yeah.
And they couldn't even be competitive last night. But Allen's also playing out of his mind. That was a those are professional football players we're talking about. And Allen made it look easy again last night. So he's elevated his game. Kudos to him. A ton of fun to watch. And we'll have more on the MVP chatter a little bit later on, but it's quite clear who the guy is so far 3 weeks into the season. Now, again, with their schedule coming up.
I did take $1.30 to win the division.
Did you?
I had to do it. They look so good, and then still, Jets look great, but I want to see more out of the Jets. Plus, the Jets have a loss already. But, you're right, the schedule gets difficult coming up for the Bills, yeah.
Paul, it's back-to-back road games now. And, by the way, 2 of those are in prime time. They go at Baltimore this Sunday night. Then they're at Houston. And then they play at the Jets. No favors there from the league. But it makes up for the easier competition to begin the season. But if somehow, some way they can be 5-1, is that possible? Can they win 2 of those games on the road? Sure, because, Sunday night basically is a coin flip. But hell of a job to begin the season by Buffalo. I did not think that they were the Chiefs' stiffest competition in the AFC going into the season.
Well,
didn't buy it.
This is juicy.
So far, it looks like they are.
When you come out as an owner and say this is the best team we've ever had, and you spend a lot of money, and you give Lawrence that kind of cash, and then he's lost 8 in a row, and he's not getting better. He's getting worse.
Yep.
And that's what the offense looks like. You point the finger at one guy. So that is, like, as I tweeted last night, that's Peterson's going to survive losing 9 out of 10 games.
Mm-hmm. Up next, professional sports bettor Paul Stone on the program. We'll get his thoughts on Alabama and Georgia, the big boy this week, and his best bets for college football this week next here on VSiN.
A new football season means a new lineup on VSiN. Start your day with sharp betting analysis on